Hello everybody, what is going on? This is Marcus and we are back for another episode of Marcus on Top. Still using that Raichu team, and I am looking forward to seeing how it can perform. Once again, I played a couple of games with a different team as, yeah, I don't know, I also want to try out some different stuff and test stuff, prepare for tournaments and so on. So my rating is way higher than it was at the end of the last episode, so we are currently at 1875. Let's see if we can even find an opponent and whether Raichu might be the team that is able to bring us just over the 1900s. But I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, as for the Raichu team, that is like not a finished team. I just threw it together and it did decently well, but I'm sure there's still quite some points that we might improve, but yeah, let's just check it out. So the first opponent of the day will be Timon from Spain with a rating of 17 and 26. And his team looks pretty standardish as he's rocking, yeah, like a Big Six kind of team. However, he does have Amoonguss over that Kangaskhan. Now, against those teams, I mentioned it in the previous episode, you just definitely want to try and get off a Water Spout, and sometimes that is just enough. Getting your Kyogre next to Rayquaza into a good position and then see what can work from there. So I do believe that I want to go with Raichu and Talonflame as my leads and then bring Rayquaza and Kyogre in the back. However, we have to watch out for that Xerneas, and Landorus might also do a decent job against this kind of team. So maybe something like Landorus Talonflame would also work here. But Raichu might be better against the Smeargle. However, against that Xerneas, we definitely have to watch out. Yeah, it's tough, it's tough. So we could go for this kind of setup and just see how it goes, or we could go with Landorus and Talonflame. Definitely want Talonflame though for the speed control here, as setting up Tailwind can be crucial in those matchups. Yeah, okay, we're going with the Raichu, and let's just see how it can do. The last time we encountered a team that was similar to this, we were able to nuzzle the Salamence, and that gave us the advantage with our Kyogre to get off that Water Spout and Dragon Ascent combination, which knocked out his Xerneas in that game. So let's see if we are able to do something similar right here. Opponent is leading with Salamence and Talonflame. I don't see any problem with that from my opponent. It's a very solid lead against any Ryogre teams, basically, unless they feature, I don't know, like, more electric types. I don't know, if you have, like, Thundurus, and yeah, Thundurus is a mon that is pretty good against that lead, but Raichu, despite being an electric type, it can't deal with Salamence and Talonflame as well, as it can probably be outsped by both of those mons, but let's see what will happen. So we could just set up the Tailwind, however, I would expect my opponent to just set up the counter Tailwind the next turn. Say, if we went for Fake Out and Tailwind, but we couldn't nuzzle the Salamence like in the previous game. Actually, I just kinda feel like going for the Nuzzle and a Brave Bird onto the Talonflame. Brave Bird probably not the cleverest choice, since maybe my opponent wants to go for a Quick Guard to block a potential Fake Out here. But nope, he just goes for the Tailwind, so we will be able to get off the Nuzzle on the Salamence, and let's see what my opponent decides to go for with their Salamence, and whether our Talonflame will stick around for this turn. But Brave Bird doing some good amount of damage also means that we will take a good amount of recoil. Nuzzle comes out here on the Salamence though. Now it will be paralyzed. And let's see what his Salamence goes for. Goes for straight for the Hyper Voice. That should deal a decent amount of damage and actually is enough to knock out the Talonflame. I did not exactly anticipate that being enough to knock out the Talonflame, but after that recoil we just can't... we don't stand a chance and have to go down here. So that is pretty problematic already, since we cannot get off, we cannot get up the Tailwind as we wanted to. So I do believe sending in Kyogre would put the most amount of pressure on my opponent here, since, yeah, despite having up that Tailwind, we will still be able to outspeed his Rayquaza with our Kyogre, so we threaten an Ice Beam and Volt Tackle combination to knock out both his Mons here. And I am pretty sure that that is not what my opponent wants to see here. So maybe we can expect a Protect coming out from that Salamence. Another play I think that would be really good would be switching out Salamence into Groudon and go for a Flare Blitz on my Raichu. So the question is, do I want to predict that and switch into Rayquaza and just Water Spout? Or would he rather go for the Brave Bird onto my Kyogre? Actually, I think that it is pretty likely that my opponent will go for that play, so we will go for a switch into Rayquaza and go for the Water Spout. So let's see if that play works out, as Rayquaza will come out here, and let's see if their Salamence switches out. Let's hope it does. But nope, it doesn't. He just goes for Brave Bird, so going for Protect and Volt Tackle would have been the right call. And that would have put us in a very good position, but now the read didn't work out and he just stayed in here. So we really could have capitalized on that. But nope, didn't work out. So let's see what his Salamence goes for. Hopefully it is fully paralyzed. And it actually is. Okay, so that helps, I guess. So yeah, the first turn, I don't know, there were so many options I could have gone for, and in talking I didn't really think things through the best way. Maybe just going for a Volt Tackle into his Talonflame was actually the right call to make there. And yeah, setting up Tailwind could have been really nice, but actually no, my opponent brought Smeargle in the back. Wow, so maybe that's why he didn't switch into his into his Groudon, because maybe he didn't bring it. That is definitely not what I expected to see, but it might just work out for my opponent. Huh. So he has Tailwind up, and we still do have our Raichu in the back, so we can pick off like a knockout on the Smeargle with Feint, for example. But yeah, things are really difficult right now. I think we can just expect like a Dark Void coming out from my opponent. So I will actually go ahead and just double protect here. Yeah, I don't know. That will result in a Moody boost though, potentially for my opponent, but nope, he actually switches out Salamence into that Xerneas. Okay. So yeah, he actually did not bring Groudon. Really surprised to see that. So maybe he actually would have switched into that Groudon if he just brought it, but hey, sometimes it's just really difficult to predict stuff, and then yeah, so if you didn't get confirmation about what your opponent brought, then I don't know, sometimes just making the hard reads doesn't work out because they didn't bring the Pokemon. Speed drops here though, which is very nice. However, Tailwind should still be up for at least one last turn, and that could be problematic. So yeah, now we can go for the Mega Evolution pretty freely, but will it help us since we are still staring down that Smeargle here? I could go for Extreme Speed with that, but then we will never ever wake up again. So I think my opponent might just go for a Geomancy and Dark Void play. So I think I will just go for the Water Spout to break a potential Focus Sash on that Smeargle, and to get off like some damage in case we do not get put to sleep by the Dark Void. So we really have to hope here for some misses as we protect the turn before. Maybe going for a double protect might have been the right call, but let's see what will happen here as Delta Stream finally activates from the Rayquaza. But he actually goes for the Follow Me. Okay, so we will be able to take out that Smeargle, probably, unless he Moonblast takes out Kyogre, but nope, he just goes for that Geomancy. Okay, so there might still be something left for us to take in this game, since we do have Raichu in the back that has both Feint and Fake Out, and there is always the possibility to go for like Mind Games there. And yeah, we will be threatening the Fake Out at some point, and then we could go for the Feint and like Dragon Ascent to deal a lot of damage. But yeah, we're not at that point yet. Right now, just taking out that Smeargle with Dragon Ascent and then the Water Spout. So Water Spout was probably the right call. doing at least some chip damage onto that Xerneas. So wow, with that defense boost, the Smeargle can actually take that relatively well. I did not really expect that. Maybe that is like really bulky Smeargle, but fortunately enough, Water Strut is enough to take it out. Well, that was scary for a moment. But yeah, we're our Focus Sash on our Rayquaza, so no Life Orb boost, no Choice Band boost whatsoever. And yeah, you can really see how that just, I don't know, doesn't do too much damage. So we are pretty free. We would be pretty free to get off an attack with Rayquaza here. Since we do have the Focus Sash still intact, we could go for the Dragon Ascent on the Xerneas, but if my opponent goes for, say, Dazzling Gleam and Hyper Voice, and yeah, then we probably just lose on the spot since it would KO both our Mons, and we would have to bank on a full Para on that Salamence. So instead I think I want to protect my Rayquaza and actually Ice Beam into the Salamence. Just in case he makes a read and protects his Xerneas, we would be able to get the KO on his Salamence, and even if he doesn't and knocks out our Kyogre, our Raichu would be coming in, and then we at least have the chance to go for some mind games with Feint and Fake Out. And yeah, then if we can get the move right, we could still win this game. So Rayquaza goes for the Protect here, no Protect coming out from Xerneas though, as it goes for the Dazzling Gleam. Let's see if that is enough to knock out our Kyogre. As it actually hangs on there with 9 HP, wow, but since Delta Stream is up, this Ice Beam might not KO the Salamence depending on the split, but it is actually enough, wow. Ah, nice, okay, so that was the other thing I was really hoping for. Yeah, my Kyogre is pretty bulky, as you can see from the HP stat, 201, and yeah, I think even after all of that, we should be able to take the game with a Dragon Ascent, followed by a Feint plus Extreme Speed. Yeah, we could, in theory, also play the timer game, or we could have done that, like, earlier. Like, imagine I started, like, timer stalling a little bit earlier, then we didn't even have to go for, like, to take it out that way, but we will, of course, go for it anyway. Dragon Ascent should be able to deal a decent amount of damage, and then, yeah, with Raichu, we can go for just Feint and Extreme Speed, and I think that should be enough to knock it out. So, I don't know, didn't start too great, that battle, but yeah, I don't know, my opponent just lacking the damage output in the end with that paralyzed Salamence and that Smeargle. I do think that he should not have gone, yeah, that is definitely enough to knock it out. I don't think that he should have gone for the Follow Me with Smeargle, but I would have preferred to see the Dark Void, like, from his position as a play. But he did get the speed drop, so maybe if he was, like, he was really bulky. So he was probably like really slow Smeargle, and I thought that, yeah, after that speed drop in Tailwind he wouldn't be able to outspeed me anyway. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. I want to run the calcs on the on Dragon Ascent versus that Smeargle. And by the way, what I said earlier doesn't really make too much sense. Like, Extreme Speed and Feint is not actually possible since we Mega Evolved Rayquaza, so we are faster right now. So yeah, if he protects, like, we will Extreme Speed and the Protect, and then the Feint will come out since they share the same priority. But it doesn't really matter too much here, but yeah, some like interesting thing to keep in mind, really. But yeah, there is nothing my opponent can do here, as yeah, he doesn't even try to go for the Protect, we go for the Fake Out, and that is actually just enough to knock out that Xerneas. And yeah, we win this game despite that rough start, but I don't know, Rayquaza and Kyogre, once again, we were kinda able to bring them into position. My opponent did not bring the Groudon, so it wasn't as easy to grab KOs here, but yeah, I think the fact that my opponent's Smeargle seems to be slow and bulky was what probably saved us this game. So yeah, really interesting decision though. He also has a Amoonguss in place, so I would guess that against Trick Room you can also just bring your Amoonguss, but maybe maybe it was actually like not bulky, but yeah, Dragon Ascent from Rayquaza, and it only did like, I don't know, 65%. So yeah, I guess that was, yeah, it has to be bulky. But I will run the calls afterwards. I'm really interested. So our rating even higher now. We're up at 18 and 85. So just a little bit short of those 1900s. That would be really cool if I could feature some games in the 1900s on YouTube. And yeah. Definitely nice. Have you ever been higher this season on BattleSpot than what I have at the moment? Let me know in the comments what was your peak of ranking. And comment of the day, by the way, I'm sorry guys, but Gengar once again wanted to choose this one. Gengar is the best, coming out from Jason. Crazy little J. Yeah, Gengar is very happy. By the way, to those of you who have asked for a Gengar being featured here on this channel, I might have a team coming up eventually. But we're finding Justin Pig from the UK. I believe that is one of the Miller brothers. Also very strong player here, running a Big Six team. So yeah, let's see what we can do against this one. His rating was also pretty high at 18 and 36, I believe. So maybe if we win this one, would that put us over the 1900s? I doubt it. 15 points, still short, but that would definitely be... then we would probably only need one more win against whoever, basically. Yeah, I think Raichu and Talonflame is once again what I want to do here. It kinda worked out in the last game, and I really don't expect him to go for the same thing and bringing Smeargle in the back, because that was actually not very pleasant to see. But yeah, let's see. I'm not saying that my team's matchup against Big Six is like really good, but I do think that if you make the right calls, you can definitely overcome the Big Six teams. And yeah, let's see what will happen in this one. Nozzle once again proved to be really strong here by nuzzling those Salamances, and yeah, let's see what he brings to the table. Whether he has some interesting techs here, as you know, all those Big Six teams, they don't actually have to be like the exact same thing all the time. There is a lot of stuff you can do, as I already showcased, by the way, in one of my earlier videos, one of the earlier Marcus on Tops. I used stuff like Dark Voidless, Mental Herb Smeargle, Substitute Salmon, Substitute Groudon. I don't know, you could in theory like use Choice Scarf Smeargle, Choice Band Talonflame, Choice Specs Xerneas even. I tried that for fun at some point. But yeah, really looking forward to this battle, as I don't think I played him too often yet, but he's definitely a very strong competitor. Also has acquired quite a few championship points thus far, as he leads off with Talonflame and Kangaskhan. Okay, I think I will take that, since yeah, with Raichu we do have a Mon that is faster than Kangaskhan and also carries Fake Out, so yeah, I don't think we should be at a disadvantage at least. So we could go ahead and go for a Fake Out, but there's always those like stuff like... There's so much stuff, like, he could go for a Quick Guard, or he could, like, if we wanted to fake out his Kangaskhan, he could non-mega fake out into my Talonflame if he has that inner focus ability. So I think instead I will actually go ahead and Volt Tackle into the Talonflame. And just Quick Guard, and just Quick Guard, and just Quick Guard. So let's see. He actually withdraws Talonflame. That is a pretty good play, I think. If there's Groudon coming in, yep. Really making a great read here the first turn, and depending on what his Kangaskhan does, that could be really, really bad for us. So Groudon coming out already, so we will have the weather advantage. However, in this specific matchup, it doesn't really matter too much, since with Rayquaza's Airlock ability, we can cancel out the Desolate Land of Groudon anyway. And I really have to hope that this Kangaskhan went for a Fake Out right here, or else we might be in a terrible spot. But yep, the non-mega evolution coming out here from the Kangaskhan. So that does indicate the Fake Out went into the Talonflame, and Volt Tackle doesn't do anything to that Groudon. So yeah, I would say a pretty neutral turn, but I don't know, like, nothing bad happened. So after how bad it looked when he switched out his Talonflame into Groudon, I will take that any day. Imagine he like double-edged us, that would have been really bad. So he was probably expecting, like, he was just making the safest play possible. Even if we went for a Fake Out on the Kangaskhan, nothing would have happened, and yeah, just a solid play. So now we could actually take out his Kangaskhan with Volt Tackle and Flare Blitz, I think. That's probably not something he expects, right? Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does, but let's see. He could go for a Sucker Punch here, but I don't think that is too likely, since Talonflame could just go ahead and set up the Tailwind here. So depending on his Groudon's moveset, he might actually not have a way to knock out our Talonflame here. But let's see, yeah, like Flare Blitz does so much damage here to that Kangaskhan, so maybe just Eruption, yeah, should be able to pick up the KO on Talonflame. Flare Blitz here, not really doing too much, but yeah, we still needed that little bit of tip damage to take out that Kangaskhan. And now let's see what the Groudon goes for. Actually just goes for the Eruption, okay. good play here, I guess. Gives up the Kangaskhan, but Talonflame unfortunately goes down, so we won't be able to set up Tailwind. And that could really hurt us. However, Raichu, since we do have that Assault Vest, is able to just barely hang in there. And I do think that is the, yeah, like, the position where we definitely want to switch into Kyogre. He does not know our split. We could be timid and max speed since I didn't like press too hard for the Tailwind to be up. So that could be an indication. Yeah, if we went for the Tailwind that turn, we probably would lose both the Raichu and the Talonflame. No, actually no, we wouldn't have. Since Talonflame is able to take the Eruption without any prior damage, and Kangaskhan can only target one of the two. So yeah, I wasn't really sure if Raichu would be able to survive that Eruption, to be completely honest. But yeah, then with that knowledge, maybe going for a Nuzzle. No, I'm not even sure what Raichu could have done here. Or maybe switch out Raichu into Kyogre and set up Tailwind. That could have also been a really good play. But I do think we are still like not in the worst of positions, as yeah, now we do have Kyogre out against two fire types, and I mean, how bad can that actually be? So yeah, once again, there is just stuff that could happen. We could protect Kyogre and Volt Tackle into the Talonflame to take it out, as he might, however, be also looking to set up Tailwind. We could feint his Groudon actually and go for Water Spout. Yeah, there's quite a few possibilities that are definitely open here. But would you protect Groudon? You would probably rather switch out into your last one. Okay, making a read here, and I will Wall Tackle into that Groudon. So let's see whether Groudon will switch out into the Xerneas. And yep, he actually does. Okay. So this turn could end up being really good, as it is Xerneas that comes out here, and we will be able to get off a Water Spout as well as that Wall Tackle, unless he Brave Birds into the Raichu. But yeah, he goes for the Brave Bird, however, I would expect that to go onto the Kyogre. Yep. Okay, so Water Spout should be enough to take out the Talonflame, and I'm not entirely sure how much Wall Tackle will deal to that Xerneas, but I would hope that it would be enough to put it into, like, probably Extreme Speed KO range from a Rayquaza. So that Wall Tackle, really doing the trick here, probably. And Water Spout is enough to knock out the Talonflame and definitely brings Xerneas into Extreme Speed KO range. So that was a pretty decent turn for us, getting the read right here with the Volt Tackle into the Groudon. Yeah, he definitely wanted to keep, like, the weather advantage. However, since we do have Rayquaza in the back, it doesn't actually, like, give him too much that he was able to, yeah, get his Groudon here into position back out, so Desolate Land will go up. So I'm not actually sure if maybe just playing things a little bit safer and not going for the Wall Tackle into his Groudon would have been the right call. But yeah, you never know. So I think we should be able to take Precipice Blades here from his Groudon, and since he was, he had Eruption earlier, maybe he doesn't even have Precipice Blades anyway, so I do think just going for Extreme Speed here and Scald should be enough to lock up this game. However, yeah, you never really know. You never really know. Maybe this has like Thunder Punch or something, but I don't know. I want to take the risk since there's also the chance that he has, like, I don't know, Rock Polish or Substitute. So there is no 100% guaranteed win here for us. But let's see. He probably protects Xerneas, expecting the Extreme Speed, obviously. But yeah, okay, he protects Xerneas. So yeah, let's just hope that his Groudon does not KO our Kyogre with something. And he just goes for the Eruption here, okay, so I really don't think that that should be enough to knock out Kyogre. Maybe he didn't expect the Scald though, and hoped for Origin Pulse to miss, for example, but yeah, with Scald, that is a guaranteed knockout here on the Groudon. Yeah, did even get the critical hit here, but that really didn't matter too much. And whew, we were able to win this match as well, so 2 victories in today's episode, and that will put us pretty high on the ladder. Yeah, let's just Dragon Ascent, because why not? And so, yeah, he just forfeits, and what a game, really. And right at the end there was an X, but whatever. Whew! Those were two really exciting games against two variations of Big Six kind of teams, but yeah, Rayquaza and Kyogre were able to pull through for me once again here, and my rating now pretty high. That is like definitely top 50 in the world on Battlespot at the moment, so yeah, very glad. And next episode we could actually try to break into the 1900s, so that is really nice. By the way, later today, there will be another issue of VGC news, so stay tuned for that, where I will cover what happened in the past week or the past few days in terms of, yeah, VGC scene related stuff, so definitely check that out later on, and yeah, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel as well, I would really appreciate it, and yo, those were really two great games, and I'm very happy we got to I got to record both of those, so thanks for watching, see you soon, and goodbye.